Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, Ba'ashem Rachakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well, and peace and blessings to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Alright, this lesson is going to be called the Lord. Our Lord YAHAWASHI is coming to bring vengeance. Alright, I'm going to start with Matthew 10 and 34. It says, "Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I come not to send peace, but a sword." Right? And of course, when his first visitation, when he visited the earth, he came to be a righteous sacrifice. But in his second coming, when he comes back, you know, he's going to come to bring vengeance, all right, to deliver his people and punish the wicked, all right, basically be Israel's Superman, all right, just like the movies go, destroy the bad guy, save the damsel in distress, and Israel is that damsel in distress, all right. I'm gonna grab Psalms 94 and start from the top. It says, "O Lord, power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, to whom vengeance belongeth. O Allahim, power, to whom vengeance belongeth. Show thyself, lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, render a reward to the proud." So the point being, the Most High, is the chief owner of vengeance. All right, it says, "To whom vengeance belongeth, show thyself." And of course, this is a psalm written by King David. Begging the Most High to show that vengeance side of himself. All right. It says, "Lift up thyself, thou judge of the earth, and render a reward to the proud." Yahweh, how long shall the wicked triumph? How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves? And, the same thing's going on today. You got too many proud doers and wicked triumphing, all right? You got too many wicked people in the power seat, So, you should be in this spirit of begging, how long shall this endure? It says, "They break in pieces thy people, O Yahweh, and afflict thine heritage," So he's calling into remembrance that, hey, our people are at the bottom, and, the Lord promised us to be at the top. "They slay the widow and the stranger, and murder the fatherless. Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God or the power of Jacob regard it." I'm going to jump down to the bottom because I'll read 21. It says, "They gather themselves together against the soul of the righteous and condemn the innocent blood. But the Lord is my defense, and my power is the rock of my refuge. And he shall bring upon them their own iniquity, and shall cut them off in their own wickedness. Yea, the Lord Yahweh, our power, shall cut them off." So, that's what we believe, man. We believe that, hey, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, through his son Yahawashi, and the multitude of his angels, they're coming back to cut off the wicked and lift up, the righteous. All right. So with that, I'm gonna grab. Let's see. Yeah, let's get Isaiah. This is Isaiah 63. I'll start at 1. It says, "Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra?" Edom being, the so-called white man. Says, "This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save." All right. Mighty to save being Yahawashi. Yahawashi, his name, Yahawashi means he who saves. So when he's asking, "Who is this that cometh from Edom?" it's Yahawashi coming from Edom. All right. "Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat?" So his garments were sprinkled with blood. It says, "I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. All right, so this is talking about YAHAWASHI. The day of vengeance is in his heart, and the year of my redeemed is come, and he's coming to redeem his people. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, in my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. And you gotta love the poetic wordplay of the Most High. He said, tread them down in my anger and make them drunk in my fury. And in order to get drunk, you have to have an excessive amount. So he's gonna make them drunk with his fury. So the you can only imagine how much fury he's gonna bring forth. Reading something like that. But yeah, with that, I'm gonna grab. Let's go to 34. Let's see, verse. Yeah, verse 8. Isaiah 34 and 8. For it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams thereof shall be turned into pitch, and the dust thereof into brimstone, and the land thereof shall become burning pitch. And this chapter is ultimately talking about the thermonuclear missiles when you read up, and it's it says, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. Let's go to that word, recompense. No, not KJV. Definition. Make amends to someone for loss or harm suffered. Compensate. Compensation or reward given for loss or harm suffered or effort made. Yeah, and Zion being, Israel, so the Lord is coming back to bring vengeance to make amends for the harm that has been done to Israel. All right. Let's see. Let's grab. I'll go to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, because this is plain. Let's grab Revelation 2. Let's see, what is that? Yeah, I'll get Revelation 1 and 7 first. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierce him, and all kindreds of earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. Yeah, this is the point. And clouds can also be substitute with thousands. All right, and we break it down that those clouds are chariots, so-called UFOs that Yahawashi and his angels are coming with. But also that word clouds can be substitute with thousands. Yeah, let's grab, because 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter paints a clear description of Yahawashi coming back. Let's see. I'll start at 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. See, and whenever you go into that word thousands, that can also be substitute with clouds. Let's see. I don't have. Yeah. I'll prove it real quick, because this further proves that the Apocrypha goes hand in hand with the rest of the scriptures. Because people don't read their Bibles, and have never, gone into the Apocrypha or read it themselves, they're quick to say that um, that doesn't, that these books don't belong, or they're deemed non canonical. Let's see. Yeah, this is Second Ezra 13:3. Let's see if you can see it. I wrote Revelation 1 and 7 right there. If you can see those two little marks before that word clouds, and those two marks in the verse right here are right before thousands, and that means you can substitute that word or phrase with the little side note. Let's see, what does that say? A certain man of the, let's see, what does that say? A certain man as the wind. Yeah, and you can see in the verse above, you can substitute a certain man of the wind with was that lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved. You can substitute a certain man of the wind. And ultimately it's talking about YAHAWASHI. Just keep that in mind. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. Right, so when, YAHAWASHI comes back, the heathen nations, they know what's up. They're going to see him as a foreign threat coming out of the heavens, all right? They know that he's coming back to come back to set his own reign up. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or place where out the hills was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. So, people were, the armies, air force, space force, whatever you want to call it, that were going after him. They were sore afraid, but hey, just like how the Most High hardened Pharaoh's heart whenever he brought the plagues on him, he would harden Pharaoh's heart just to show off more plagues. Same thing that he's going to do when YAHAWASHI comes back. He's going to make them, scared shitless, but he's going to put the spirit in them to keep fighting them because he wants to show off his strength, And yes, the Most High operates like that because you can read about it in Romans the 9th chapter. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with a violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. So YAHAWASHI used spiritual power to create that fucking laser beam. Boom. A blast of fire, flaming breath, and a great tempest. A tempest is like a lightning storm, mixed together with like fire and a flaming breath. That'd most accurately be today terminology as a laser beam. It says, but the innumerable multitude turned into, when he burned them up, it says, and burned them up everyone, so that upon a sudden in an instant, on a sudden of an innumerable multitude, that's how great the army came to subdue him. Innumerable. Nothing was to be perceived but only dust and the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid, and rightfully so. I mean, shit. You see a real life Superman pissed off, coming with so-called UFOs, and then all of a sudden, this huge army starts coming at them, and then boom, just a big old laser beam, just nothing but dust and smoke. Hell yeah, that's scary, man. After saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him another peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, and some of them were bound, and other some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awaked, and said, Thou hast showed the servant these wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. Uh, and yeah, he asked for the interpretation of this dream, and you know it it breaks it down, and that peaceable multitude was the elect of Israel that he came back to save, the elect in the 1/3. And I'll prove it. Let's see. Yeah, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Osea the king, whom Salmanazar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. So it's the 10 tribes, the scattered of Israel, all right? And not just 10, it's 12, but it started with the 10 that first were driven away here to the Americas. Because you read into this and it goes into how they got here. Yeah, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. Yeah, his people that remain. Because you got to understand that it's not going to be everyone that gets saved. All right? I'll get that real quick. Zechariah 13. At the bottom, second, Zechariah 13:8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people, and they shall say, The Lord is my power. So there you have it. Only 1/3 of Israel shall be saved, and then you also have the elect that's written in Revelation, the 7th chapter. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back and read that for myself. But yeah, the point being, YAHAWASHI is coming back for vengeance, and so you don't have to do anything yourself. This is Romans 12:19. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. Give place unto wrath, meaning have a coping mechanism. Go lift weights, go punch a punching bag. If you have a laborious job that requires a lot of physical labor, like I remember I used to work night shifts and I had to push these big ass metal boxes, and I was stressed out with the wickedness that happens every day, being vexed. You get stressed up and you got to release that. So I would I would get on those boxes by myself. Usually it might take 2, 3, or even sometimes 4, depending on how heavy those things were to move them motherfuckers. But I get it on it myself and just release all that vexation. Give place unto your wrath. Avenge not yourselves. Don't go out and try to you square up with Edomites and stuff like that. It says, "For it is written, vengeance is mine; I will repay, saith the Lord." You know, so hey, leave the vengeance to YAHAWASHI. Um, and then when it happens, whenever you see, well, let's get it. This is Psalms 58:10. The righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked. Now that doesn't actually mean like we're gonna be, you know, get like whenever an Edomite dies, we're gonna go over there and start, scooping their blood and putting it on our feet. That's whack. That's not what it's saying. But it's saying that we're gonna be glad whenever we see Esau lose his mind and gets put to death and his power is stripping from him, and he's beaten into subjection under us again. You know, that's the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance. So when vengeance comes forth, we'll be glad. Verse 11, so that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily he is a power that judgeth in the earth. Because for too long, Yahweh Shem Shai hasn't gotten his respect. People doubted that he step in for Jake, all right? But when he finally does and steps in and says, hey, these are my people, but I've had enough of you roughing them around. He starts beating up on them. That's when people are going to recognize, hey, there's a power now. The power's back in town. Yeah, that's the point. Yahweh Shai is coming back with vengeance, man. It's going to be a beautiful thing, when it unfolds. Yeah, hope this video was edifying and uplifting. Actually, I got one more. That's it. Because I'm getting these scriptures from a group chat that, me and my camp are in. And we post scriptures in there daily. So, it's easy to just use those scriptures and make a edifying video. Isaiah 47 and let's see. Yeah, in 3, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yeah, the shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. I'm talking about Yahweh Shai. Because the first time he came, he came as a man, but now he's got that angelic body. He can go in and out of the spirit world. It says, as for our Redeemer, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh of hosts is his name. And host meaning like a great army, a numerous army, the Holy One of Israel. Just talking about Yahweh Shai, coming in the name of his father Yahweh. But yeah, he's coming back to, play that Superman role. Deliver Jacob and destroy the bad guy. So with that, I hope this video was edifying, uplifting. Once again, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders, and peace to the elect out there that's pushing this word in all truth and sincerity. Shalom.